Hey, Charlie from the Plaza here. This is Angel, and my guess is you're a white belt. You came to YouTube, and you're looking for what to do when you're in somebody's guard because you're not sure, right? And the first couple videos you clicked on were like this. All right, we're going to do some guard play. I'm going to put my foot in his bicep, and I'm going to get my Marcelo Garcia hook here. And then I'm going to put my feet on his hips, and I'm going to turn, and then Plata, and then you untuck this thing, and you roll into a double inverted from here. And then watch this next part. It's really, you grab his sleeve. So Angel's got me in this closed guard, and the thing for you to remember from here is that if he can tip me, he can tap me. If he can tip me, he can sweep me. So my biggest priority is to make myself solid and have what we call base, right? So my knees go out, I sit as low as I can, and I keep my posture up. What I like to tell beginners is posture up but then slightly forward so you can't get pushed backwards. Usually one hand gathers the lapel, the other hand grabs the pants or the belt or comes here, okay? But your job here is to almost make yourself like a statue, like be immovable. So if he tries to tip you forward, backward, in any direction, you're solid, right? You start to get in trouble when you leave this base, when you leave this place of balance. So if he can tip you forward by pulling his legs, and you're here, now he can kind of send you wherever he wants. He can break your posture down, he can catch your arms, he can catch shoulder locks, he can choke you. If you deny him all of that by simply having good posture and denying him the ability to break you down, number one, you stay safe, but number two, he starts to get frustrated. And that's when you see the guy at the bottom open his guard, and now he'll start to try things that are riskier simply because he's not getting anywhere, right? So as a white belt, you know, rather than saying what are like 10 great new moves I can use to break his guard and pass his guard, the first thing is just don't get swept. And that starts with not getting tipped. If you can maintain this base position with your hands here, it's solid so you don't get tipped. The other thing is it protects your arms. If he can get both your arms over on one side, that's trouble. Okay, this is where sweeps happen, flower sweeps, things like that. So you want to not let your arms go both to one side. Another thing is you got to be careful with how far up you let your hands go. I said in previous videos, you would never try to choke him from here. You put yourself into an armbar, but it's also compromising your posture. I'm leaning forward now. If he can get me down, he can pull me down, he's going to make my life a lot more complicated. So by basing out, sitting low, up and then slightly forward, and getting your hand in this position, you're hard to tip and you're protecting your arms. Okay, now we're going to look at the other side of the equation, what to do when you're on the bottom in guard. And here's the thing you should keep in mind. As a white belt, what you should be spending most of your time on is escaping. So escaping mount, escaping side control, and escaping guard. As you get deeper into this stuff, and you get into blue belt and higher, the majority of your sparring is going to revolve around passing someone's guard or keeping someone in your guard long enough to do something, right? So work on your escapes, but just know that later on, the stuff that we're doing today becomes very, very important. If he's in my guard, his job is to stay alive long enough to escape. Escaping the guard is called guard passing. He's got no offensive options from here. He should not be trying to tap me out. He should just be worried about mainly not getting tipped and not letting his arms get taken. For me on the bottom, I basically want to reverse everything that I just said. So it's in my best interest if I can get both of his hands to one side. If I can get his hands too high. If I can get his hands on the floor. If I can break his posture and keep him down. That gives me options. If I can tip him in any direction, that's what's good for me, right? So here's a great thing that as a white belt. You're going to find yourself down here and just not know what to do. Usually white belts will try to like squeeze their legs as hard as they can to get them to tap out. That never works. But here's a good one, right? Sleeve, lapel, it's kind of the traditional hold right here. I have my ankles crossed and I just wait. And the second he moves even a little bit, I pull him. If you take nothing else away from this video, let it be this, right? The second he does anything, pull them with my arms and legs, especially the legs. You'll find that this is the easiest way to break somebody's posture. Not by sitting here trying to do this, because if he decides he wants to posture up, be solid. No amount of this is gonna do it. But the second he moves, he comes right down, and then you have your chance for chokes or arm bars or sweeps. Okay, and lots of times just holding a position like this and not letting him move that much, he'll start to make mistakes. He'll get frustrated and he'll overextend himself, or he'll lean forward or whatever, and that's when you take your chance. But the big tip from this one is get your close guard, get your grips, and the second you see him move even a little bit, pull him forward off his base. All right, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope it helps. I know that especially going to YouTube, there's so many videos, and so many of them don't pertain to beginners. And even sometimes in your school, you get in a class with mixed levels, and they're teaching above your level. So it's important to know this kind of this ground level basic white belt stuff. If you want to sign up for my special email list, you can't, because I don't have one of those. And if you want to sign up for my special members-only mastermind group, I don't have one of those either. Charlie from the Plaza, out. Busy.